I'm going to be talking about a bit of German folklore that freaks me out. I'll be talking about doppelgangers. And for me, this whole idea of a doppelganger existing is freakish enough. And I'm going to be talking about portals, other dimensions, and possible doubles of us walking around in real time. So strap on your seatbelt and get ready to talk about doppelgangers and them living among us. The word doppelganger is German and it means double goer. So this is basically the double of a living person that is also an apparition. So it could very well be a ghost or a living person that looks exactly identical to its original. Doppelgangers, also known as doubles or ghost counterparts, are said to be the paranormal phenomena where a person sees a duplicate of themselves, often regarded as an omen of bad luck or death. The concept of doppelgangers dates back centuries, and there have been many accounts of sightings throughout history. As always, if you found videos like this fun and you want to know more, please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I post new videos. Thank you so much for your support. Some people believe that doppelgangers are evidence of the other dimensions or alternate realities. They believe that these doubles are actually versions of ourselves from other dimensions existing alongside us in the same physical space, but in a different reality. Another similar paranormal phenomena is that of skinwalkers. In Native American culture, skinwalkers are believed to be witches or shapeshifters who have the ability to transform into an animal or human form that they desire. Skinwalkers are said to be able to mimic the appearance of humans perfectly, leading to many accounts of people seeing doppelgangers in Native American folklore. The mystery and lore of surrounding doppelgangers and skinwalkers have captured the imaginations of people around the world, leading to countless sightings and stories of encounters with these creatures. While there's no actual scientific evidence to support the existence of doppelgangers or skinwalkers, the idea of the dimensions and alternate realities have been exploded into various fields of science, including quantum physics and string theory. Some scientists speculate that there may be many other dimensions beyond the 3 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time that we are familiar with. These dimensions may exist alongside our own, and it is possible that they could be the home of other versions of ourselves. Regardless of whether doppelgangers and skinwalkers are real or not, the mystery and intrigue surrounding them will continue to spread across generations to come. Whether there is evidence of other dimensions or simply a figment of our imaginations, the idea of seeing a duplicate of ourselves is both fascinating and terrifying. It is believed that between the hours of 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. are when doppelgangers are most active, and that makes it quite scary. There has been a thing going around on TikTok, if you guys have seen it, about people going to look in the mirror between 3 and 5 a.m. Them turning off the light, using a candle, and staring at their reflection for a period of time. I believe it takes about 30 minutes for you to actually see the changes in your facial features and also something on the other side of the mirror trying to make contact with you. So it's believed that doppelgangers exist in the mirrors and they are portals to other dimensions. And it sounds scary enough, but I actually tried it one night and I was freaked out about what I saw. So in staring at the mirror for a long period of time, your face will start to change. And the reason why this happens is because your brain doesn't process dark and light properly. So when you're staring at an object for a long period of time, you can definitely hallucinate. And this can happen to anyone who doesn't have any mental health issues. So focused on a particular thing, your eye and your brain are trying to rationalize what it's seeing. Just like if you're driving at night and in the middle of the road, your headlights may pick up an object, your brain is actually trying to scan that object and figure out exactly what it is. Therefore, when you're looking in the mirror, your brain is doing the exact same activity. Therefore, staring at your own reflection can cause this type of hallucination to happen. So people have reported actually talking to their doubles. They've reported their doubles actually stepping outside of the mirror. Now, I don't know about any of this. It could very well be trumped up, exaggerated foolishness just for likes and views. However, it does cause hallucinations if you do stare at your reflection for a long period of time in a dimly lit area. So this alleged dimension or other side is very similar to our own. If you've ever seen the movie Mirrors, then you would know what I'm talking about. There are others that exist on the opposite side of the mirror in this portal, and their world is very similar to ours, except for it's a mirror opposite, meaning things on the other side can appear backward to the people who live on the right side of the mirror. And in the movie Mirrors, you can clearly see that people on the other side were quite evil. So therefore, the whole doppelganger idea is like it's an evil double. And this evil double is basically lusting after your life and wants to take it over. Some of these doppelgangers believe that you're wasting your life, and they could very well be able to use your potential and gain the upper hand. A lot of other sightings of doppelgangers have existed. If you've ever watched this woman on TikTok, I forget her name, but she talks a lot about the glitch in the matrix, and she's said stories where people have seen doppelgangers in their homes. I remember a couple of particular stories that I could share with you. One was of a mother. The child was in her bed sleeping, and she heard rustling in the room, and she saw her mother digging through the drawer, and the mother was silent. She was getting ready for work. And the daughter said, Mom, what are you doing in here? And the little girl was talking to the mother, and the mother completely ignored her. After a while, the real mother came and turned on the light, and the little girl said once the light was turned on, that doppelganger disappeared. The little girl ran to her mother and hugged her and said, Mom, I don't understand why you were in here getting dressed and you didn't talk to me. Now, I find that so scary because, the little girl is obviously thinking that the other thing was her mother. So are these things really around? A lot of people or other folklore believe in skinwalkers that very well can take on the shape and form of other people or disguise themselves as other people, but they're really evil. And that's what makes it even scarier. There was another story of a doppelganger of a woman who was out in the park with her young daughter, and they were enjoying the sun and playing and having a great time. However, across the field, a woman saw someone who looked exactly like her. They were dressed in the same outfit, so she started walking closer. She walked closer and closer and noticed that the woman had similar features to her, and she was dressed in the exact same outfit. As she got closer to this thing, she can see it smiling back at her. And it was the exact same person. She said she shivered and couldn't believe it. Then soon after, the person backed up and walked away. She didn't give chase because she was terrified. So imagine coming face to face with an exact double of yourself. You know you're not a twin or a triplet, but this thing looks exactly like you. What would you do? How would you handle that? There was another situation of a woman in bed with her husband, and she rolled over and she noticed that he wasn't there next to her. So she heard the bathroom, the toilet flushing and the water running. So she assumed that he was in the bathroom. So when she rolled over again, she saw him there, and she's like, well, who's in the bathroom? And the husband was like, there's nobody in there. I was here the whole time. So that's just weird. I don't know what could have happened there. Maybe she was tired and hallucinated the whole thing. Who knows? And there was several glitch in the matrix where people actually lost time, and another doppelganger was in their place that filled in for the time that they lost. Their family reported that they act strangely or differently. The family reported that they did things that were out of the ordinary of their character. So could it very well happen? I don't know. But stranger things have happened. One of the earliest cases of the existence of a doppelganger is Emily Sagi. Her story was first told by Robert Dale Owen in 1860 in his book called Footfalls on the Boundary of Another World. He himself heard the story from Julie von Goldenstubel, a daughter of Baron von Goldenstubel, who attended the elite boarding school Pension von Neuwickel in the year 1845 in present-day Latvia, the school in which Emily Sagi was employed in that year. Emily was only 23 years old at this point. She was attractive, smart, and in general well-liked by the students and staff of the school. However, curiously, she had already been employed in 18 different schools in the past 16 years. Penzant van Nieuwkoop been her 19th workplace. Slowly it started becoming clear that Emily couldn't keep her position in any of the jobs for a long time. Emily Saggy had a doppelganger, a ghostly twin that would make itself visible to others at random moments. The first time, it was spotted when she had been teaching the class of 17 girls. She had been normally writing on the board, her back facing the girl, when out of nowhere, a projection-like entity that looked just like her appeared. It stood right beside her, mocking her by imitating her movements. While everyone else in the class could see this doppelganger, Emily herself could not. In fact, she never came across her twin, which was just as well for her. It was considered to be an extremely bad omen to see one's doppelganger. Since the first sighting, Emily's apparent twin was spotted quite frequently by others at the school. She was seen sitting beside the real Emily, eating silently, imitating Emily while she did everyday work, sitting in class while Emily taught. One time, as Emily was helping one of her students dress for an event, the doppelganger appeared. The student, as she looked down to suddenly find two Emilys fixing her dress, and she fainted immediately. The most talked about sighting of Emily was when she was seen gardening by a full class of 42 girls who were learning to sew. When the supervisor of the class walked out for a bit, Emily walked in and sat down in her place. The students didn't think much of it until one of them pointed out that Emily was still in the garden doing her work. They must have been terrified by the other Emily in the room, but some of them were brave enough to go and touch this doppelganger. What they found was that their hands could go through her, only sensing what seemed to be like the bulk of a cobweb. So the story of Emily Saggy was that a real story, but people accounted that it was real and it was recorded. So did Emily really experience a doppelganger that she couldn't see, but others could? That must have been terrifying, especially for the witnesses. I believe in the multiverse, and I believe that there's other universes, not just our own. So is it possible that the universes, like string theory, can be connected together, like interconnected, where it's possible that we're seeing an exact copy of ourselves? It is definitely fascinating and something to consider and think about. So are doppelgangers from another dimension or a portal from the mirror? Or are they possibly skinwalkers that can assume human identity and copy them? What are they exactly? Do you believe in doppelgangers? Let me know in the comments below what you think and also what you thought about this video. I'm curious to know what you have to say.